go again. Incredible. Anything is possible. And the crowd absolutely love it. We're heading into the wall. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. This is why we love Formula One.
Under the night lights here in Bahrain, what a comprehensive and consummate professional victory for Oscar Piastri at a race which they call their second home one. It means a lot to them here, and I'm sure the celebrations will go on. The fireworks we're only just about recovering from. George Russell clung on then for P2. Lando Norris came from P6 to take the final spot on the podium, but that doesn't tell even half the story. Welcome to the post-race show. Hello and welcome down to the paddock. Davide Valsecchi alongside me, 2012 GP2 champion. We very much enjoyed that one, didn't we, Davide?
What a race. Yeah, that was amazing. And then I really appreciated the aggressivity of some of the driver. Lando Norris, mistakes in the attack and then try again some laps later. I mean, really, really great race. And then Piastri, how calm it was. Seems that nothing was affecting him. Start, restart, battle at the end. It was incredible, quick and efficient. I mean, mega race from Piastri, closing up to the leading over the championship. Important weekend for him, I think.
I mean, if you missed some overtakes in Japan, we had plenty here. We're going to welcome in friend of the show, Jack Doohan. Jack, that looked a tricky race, one to implement. Obviously, a 5-second time penalty for you at the end has just dropped you down there to P15, but you were running in the thick of it for so much. Talk us through it. Take us through the decisions made and how the car was feeling out there.
Yeah, I think we stuck to plan quite well for the soft and the medium tyre. You know, I think we lost out to Esteban on the soft on an undercut. Preferably, I would have wanted to do, and we, you know, did the next best opportunity. Went a lap later. We were still sitting in P9. I think we boxed at a right time for the hard tyre. You know, very unfortunate with the safety car and the timing, and then the 6 cars behind us, all on soft tyres. And you know, I tried my best to keep in front of them, but also to try to get to the DRS of Esteban. And yeah, a bit too much. Had no rear tyre. Once one went past, the others felt like they could as well. And yeah, a time penalty at the end, which was just the cherry on top. But yeah, you know, as you said, we ran in the points for so long of the race and was looking so strong. Similar to yesterday, you know, really good starts and middles, and we just need to put it all together.
Yeah, it seems that you're going to have for sure some other opportunity because your driving this weekend was top level. Tell me about the choice. Seems that some of the driver with hard compound they're struggling at the end, so it was not also easy for the team choose the right compound. Seems that usually the hard you can last longer. Today seems sometimes the opposite.
Yeah, I think I don't think the hard was very strong at all, to be honest. I think if you see Max as well in the second stint on that hard tyre, to be honest, you know, if we had a little bit more straight line speed, I would have liked to have been past him because he was struggling, you know, quite a lot on that hard tyre. And I was also, you know, pushing a lot on the medium because I knew our stint length and I knew that I had 18, 19 laps on that medium to go into the hard, so I didn't want to save for no reason. But as I saw that he was struggling with that hard, I was a little bit worried. But, you know, I think with the margin that we made in the first 3 laps before the safety car, we would have been okay to still finish in the points with a 10 or 12 seconds gap to Sonoda, Sainz and the rest. But the safety car with them coming right onto our rear bumper on fresh soft, which, you know, looked to be the strongest tyre.
Look, Jack, hopefully this weekend has given you plenty of confidence, though. It was a great quali performance, and like you said, just some unluckiness out there meant that unfortunately not points today, but points for Alpine. There's pace in that car,
exactly.
And you've got pace as well. We're going to hear from your boss now. This is Ollie Oakes with Ariana Bravo. Thanks, Jack.
Cheers.
Ollie, points on the board for the first time this season. I mean, Pierre really holding his own in that race.
Yeah, look, it's good to get points. I think Pierre there at the end, we were hoping to keep Max behind, but, you know, he did a brilliant job. Yeah.
He definitely gave it a good go. I mean, how encouraged are you by the fact that he was really up among some of the top teams and still able to stay in a points playing position?
Yeah, I mean, look, especially that first stint when you're racing, with all those cars in the front, you can't help but, you want to stay there, but you also know as the race unfolds, it is difficult. We've still got a bit of pace to find, but it's a really good result. It's good to get points on the board, and I think Pierre, again, he did a mega job there to keep it up there.
Over on the other side of the garage, not what Jack would have wanted. I mean, he was up in the points with so much of that, and then it just unravelled in the later stages. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, he was doing a really good race there. I think it's hard, isn't it? I think the safety car didn't help bunching everyone back up again. And I think just that little moment there in that last stint when everyone was together, he kind of got a little bit caught out. But that's part of being young and earning your stripes as well. He's had a good weekend. He was there all qualifying those first 2 stints. So I think it's positive for him.
Well done on the first points. Thank you, Ollie.
Thanks a lot. See you later.
Positive noises then coming from Ollie Oakes, positive noises from Jack Doohan here as well, Davide, and just a little bit of unluckiness around that safety car. And look, that soft tyre, when that was put on, we thought that there's no way they're going to get to the end here. George Russell didn't think they would, but the soft runners were absolutely flying out there. Back then to the very front of the grid, Oscar Piastri. You know it's been a good race when you've barely been on the television, because he was just so comfortably and so far ahead, even at the safety car restart, survived that and built out that advantage again. What did you make of that performance, the confidence he's showing, the confidence that's growing within him?
Yeah, can be extremely important for the next part of the season. Extremely important, because at the start was so calm and he managed the situation very well. The safety car could be a very crucial point for him, but it didn't affect his race at all. At the restart, he opened up the gap immediately, so fast, and so to be calm and relaxed to manage the last part of the race. It was extremely performance with this car, and it seems that his tires can last forever. So a lot of good point, a positive point to scratch on the board to say, I'm going to fight for this championship and maybe it can be mine this year.
Just hearing Russell has been summoned to the stewards for the DRS infringement, so using DRS outside of the zones in which he had to. He explained there in that Parc Ferme interview it was because he pressed the radio button, that opened the DRS, he shut it immediately, it was no advantage. So already he was giving his defence. It seemed there was a lot going on with George Russell's car. At the moment he is in P2. We'll bring you that news as soon as we get it, if indeed there are any post-race penalties. Back to Oscar Piastri, though, how important do you believe it was for him to get this win under his belt here in the middle of a triple header, a swing in momentum, now just 3 points behind Lando Norris in what is looking to be an inter-team battle for 2025?
I think the momentum that he's building, Laura, is extremely important. Already Japan, he ended up the race close to Norris. Last year was 20 seconds behind. He restarted the weekend here and he was better than Norris in preparatory 3, better than Norris in qualify when he counts most at the end of the Q3. He was better than him all day long today, because at the start he had a clean one. On the pace he was slightly better than his teammate. I mean, extremely important. Seems that the momentum is on this side, and I think he can open the gap in the next race and take the leadership of the championship. Can be another crucial point for his career. He's so young, 3rd year in Formula One. Keep improving every season. Come on, it's clear. It's coming up there.
It was a classy performance, wasn't it? Other side of the garage then, Lando Norris. Look, from the very start, from the start of the weekend, he's made it very clear he's absolutely not being happy in the car, in the way it's feeling, in the way he's driving, in his comfort level, the balance, whatever it is. For Lando Norris, though, his start outside of the grid box here. Max Verstappen was the one straight on the radio, wasn't he, to say it?
Look,
he rolls forward, doesn't he?
He just moved a bit and he went over the yellow line. Laura, it's for nothing. 10 centimeters probably didn't affect at all his start, but you know,
he had a good start though.
He was out of the rule. Yeah, I loved the way how he raced. I mean, it was a messy race, his one, but I loved the aggressivity. after his word yesterday, he was a bit worried. Lando is down, but today he was impressive. He was 110% every second. He tried the attack. He was forcing. He made mistake in the attack and then tried to come back. I mean, I loved this type of racing. Probably was not the cleanest one, and he had some mistake during the race and some judgment probably were not perfect. But anyway, he had a huge comeback. Third, probably his car deserved the second place. The one on Norris was not perfect, and the one on Leclerc also. Leclerc defended it very well, and probably Lando Norris missed. Yeah, in some choice, maybe they made it wrong. But anyway, I loved how he was aggressive to try to come back.
Yeah, you sing the battle there on lap 24, 25, again on lap 49. The move was made, though, by lap 52. And look, it's a battle for the final place on the podium. So it was clean, hard, fair racing. But Lando Norris, very quick to say, I wanted much more and much better today. I believe we can bring in Esteban Ocon, who is beaming. Esteban,
good?
so
Hello, how are you?
pleased
You
for
okay?
you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right. From a crash yesterday in Q2, and we saw your pen interview, you played it out, you looked so gutted and so annoyed at yourself and sorry for the team.
Yes.
Hard work done overnight, repairing those damaged parts. You're starting back, you know, outside the points, the undercut, lap 8, you got it done, and big time.
Yeah, it was a mega recovery today. I mean, you know, I was so disappointed, you know, from the performance of yesterday that I did. I've let the team down. And we were supposed to progress, you know, through to Q2 and then Q3 and start in decent position. So in the back of my mind, that was what was possible. You know, in our misery, it's a great track, you know, to be able to recover. We had a great start, a great first stint. You know, the team really took that aggressive strategy and it worked out. And we secured, you know, a good amount of points, you know, for both of us in the team, which is fantastic. You know, and in the last stint, I was very much under pressure, you know, with all the cars that benefited from the safety car. But Oli, you know, got back to a super quick rhythm at the end, and it's a double point finish for us, so it's mega.
Yeah, that's it. You'd actually pitted under before the safety car.
Yeah.
You'd already pitted. You were one of those who wasn't going to benefit from it.
No.
and still managed to get it done in the midst there with Verstappen. What was it like, kind of trying to hold off those positions, trying to hold off those behind you?
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You know, when you get Max behind, you know that you need to look at your mirror at every braking point. You know that he's going to go for it every single time. And, you know, we kept him behind for like 15 or 20 laps. It was really good. But, you know, talking with Pierre at the end, well, like, yeah, we did the max we could. But, you know, he still got in front of us at the end. But, yeah, nevertheless, we're getting closer to these top cars, and that's very good.
Yeah, I heard your team principal during the grid walk, and he told me, no, Davide, you're wrong. The car is not difficult to drive. Yesterday, we had a great chance with Ocon. And he was right. He was so confident for you during this race. Probably, you know, he was feeling that you could build something very impressive like you did today.
Yeah, it's I always been super confident the whole weekend. You know, either in qualifying, you know, when we went for only 2 sets and not 3. You know, in Q1, he knew, you know, there was going to be car pace, you know, today, and. He was right. You know, the experience tells you a lot. Ayao is a fantastic race engineer before being a team principal. So, yeah, I'm glad that, you know, it was like intended.
And Esteban as well, Haas are P5 in the constructor standings. How does that sound? It's all right, isn't it?
Amazing, amazing. I think this is the best, you know, start of their championship since they joined Formula One. So, yeah, I think we can be proud as a team. Obviously, it's only the beginning. You know, there's a lot more, you know, to come and a lot more races, and the others are not going to be sleeping. That's for sure. But we'll be giving it 100% every single time we go out, and yeah, that's in the back of our mind for sure.
Thank you so much, Esteban. Well done to you, making a strategy work.
Have a good evening.
And Ollie as well, P10. More points for Haas. Great stuff. I think we've got another driver on the way. We do. It is Pierre Gasly, just battling his way through on a scooter. Pierre Gasly, congratulations. First points for Alpine of the season. Yeah. Brilliant work. Talk me through what it was like out there, because all manner of strategies were going on instantaneously, and you guys made one work.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was great. I need a bit of time because, you know, losing that position in the last lap really messes with my head. because I had to work so hard to keep Max behind for like 15 or 20 laps and put so much effort, and in the end feels like it was all for nothing. But you know, at the end of the day, just to be in that position, to be fighting the last race winner in Suzuka, just shows how much of a step we've done this weekend. And the car was really good. Strategy was great. Pit stop were great. And yeah, I mean, yeah, the car was just very competitive, which was very different in Suzuka and China. So very happy for the whole team to score those first points.
I'm absolutely sure as a racing driver there are mixed emotions with how the race ended.
Yeah.
I guess bigger picture though is that you have scored points. The cars felt good this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we were like, what, 300-400s from Charles, who qualified third, 3/10 of pole position. And even today, like before that safety car, I was, I think, P5. Lewis was behind, Max was behind. So it was looking good. The safety car, do you think it was worth a safety car or not? Because you know.
No, to be honest, no. But he created so much show at the end, and I'm sorry, my friend, we really enjoyed it so much. To be honest,
I gotta stay polite. So I'm not gonna, you know.
It was almost for nothing, but we really enjoyed it. But
sure,
yesterday you were shocking. Come on, you came in Q2, third best time.
Yeah.
Q3, I said, no, I can knock the handle. Fifth, fourth at the starting grid. I mean, yeah, that was mega. Do you think that you can keep this momentum also in different circuit? This is my question.
I mean, to be fair, we gotta understand, like, the winter test here, we looked very strong, we looked fast. I think everybody expected us to be that competitive at the start of the year, and unfortunately in China, Suzuka, we were not for some reason. So it was good to be competitive here. I think there'll be some other tracks similar to this, you know, to Bahrain, where we'll be there. I think we need to work hard to understand, get these answers, and hopefully just repeat this sort of performance more often.
Pierre, thank you so much.
Yeah.
When you're a retired racing driver like Davide Valsecchi, you'll appreciate the show of a safety car. For right now, I appreciate you don't. But thanks for being polite about it anyway. Thanks to Pierre and congratulations to Alpine. Points, all teams have now scored points. Ayo Komatsu is with Ariana Bravo. I bet he's a happy man.
I'm with a very, very happy Aya Komatsu. I mean, you can barely contain the smile. We were just saying that was something absolutely incredible. Starting P20, P14, double points.
I knew we had a pace, but of course we weren't expecting double points. We just said, look, we got pace. You know, we got to put like yesterday's qualifying, right? So just overtake as many cars as possible. But of course, I wasn't dreaming of double points. But this race was an amazing race today. Everyone works together: drivers, engineers, pit stop. Everyone, brilliant. It was amazing race to do.
Executed so well, as you said, by the whole team. How much does this mean to you? I mean, I can see that the emotions are overflowing here, but just try and put it into words for us.
Means everything, I think. You know, the guys, you know, we had a very, very difficult start of the year, right? Still, car's not still perfect. And then yesterday, of course, we didn't maximize our performance at all. But this team, what's great about it, we get up from it and then we stick together, work as a team. Again, today, honestly, just everything. Everyone's effort is just to end up in double points. I'm like speechless.
And you have two fantastic drivers in Esteban and Ollie. I mean, they put in such a strong performance today. It must give you real confidence as you look ahead to the year.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wouldn't change it for anything. It's amazing. You know, the Esteban and Ollie done fantastic job today. It's great. You know, sorry, I'm a bit lost for words, but yeah.
You go enjoy that. That was fantastic. I enjoyed those double points. Well deserved.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
A positively giddy Ayo Komatsu. I love hearing a team principal like that. And look, the strategy call today with that undercut, really making it work. Ollie Behrman, let's hear his race radio now, if we can. Some post-race radio to bring you.
Nice one, man. Brilliant drive.
Oh my God!
Brilliant, Ollie.
Oh, man, that was some hard rate. What a good race.
Brilliant execution, Ollie. Brilliant driving. Well deserved, man. You know what points mean?
Points mean prizes.
Amazing, Ollie. That was some drive. Amazing. Well done. Amazing.
Ollie, his dad. That was a top effort, mate. Outstanding. I love you.
Thanks, Dad.
I know you did it for the points bonus. No.
Hello, Thomas. Everyone's on here today.
Oh my gosh. Everyone was radioing Ollie Behrman at the end of there. The love you from Dad got us both there, didn't it?
Yeah,
Shows
anyway.
how much it means, just the 1 point, and it's a game changer.
Yeah, he was last on the grid. And yesterday, after the quali, he was speechless. I cannot feel the car. Did you remember him? How disappointed he was. I mean, impressive drive, impressive start, because he recovered so many positions down to the first corner. And then let me say, great couple of drivers. One is a race winner, not with the top team, Ocon. And the other one, a young talent star. So, great couple of drivers. I really love the atmosphere inside of Haas at the moment. Well done.
Yeah, it's a team on the up. They are P5 in the team standings. As it stands, Ariana Bravo is with Zach Brown.
Zach, congratulations. McLaren's first win in Bahrain, your second home race. How good did that one feel, seeing Oscar cross the line?
Pretty awesome. We've never, as you've mentioned it, never won it, never been on pole. The big boss was here tonight. I'm kind of surprised we haven't won it back in the good old days when, 07 to 12, when we'd won a lot of races. So this one definitely feels a little bit more special than the normal Grand Prix, if you'd like.
And Oscar has been on fantastic form all weekend. I mean, he seems so comfortable around here.
Yeah, he's been flying all weekend. Lando drove a great race, so well executed on pit wall. So almost the perfect weekend, but we'll take it, and now we're excited to go on to Saudi.
Can we talk a little bit about Lando's race? It seemed that he wasn't completely comfortable at points during the race, but we saw some fantastic battles. I mean, ultimately, obviously, all paid off with the result, but he didn't seem quite as comfortable as Oscar this weekend.
I think this weekend he had a little bit more struggles. We saw that in qualifying, but the race, it was an epic first lap. Unfortunately, he had the penalty, but that didn't have anything to do with the great start. That was just a positioning on the track and made it up pretty quickly. We looked very racy there. The Mercedes and Ferrari were very quick, so I think we got our hands full moving forward. It's going to be exciting for Formula One.
Well, enjoy celebrating this one for now. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you very much.
Great to hear then from Zach Brown. I'm sure the celebrations will continue long into the night. Oscar Piastri, though, saying, I won't be celebrating. There is a race in Saudi Arabia that I need to crack on and win as well. He's won 2 so far. McLaren have won 3 in total. But for Lando Norris, there are plenty of battles out there, plenty of action out there. But even he was saying there, he wasn't entirely comfortable with the way that he was lunging, the way he was sending the car, how he was implementing the strategy to get round the car in front.
Yeah, so we loved the attitude, always attacking and always in the attacking mode. Probably not the best way to manage a recovery and to manage a race. He had some battle with some driver that he lost, and he lost precious time that can bring him second in the standing at the end of the race. He lost a battle with Hamilton at the beginning. He lost the one with Leclerc. Look here, it went to the inside to Leclerc, and then he decided it was too risky, and Hamilton took the position on the outside and lost precious time in that button, and you lost also the grip of the tires because you have to force it again to try. But he had also some fantastic move, this one, on the outside, really at the edge. It was perfect, but he overtook the white line. He had to give it the position back. It was something that we loved, but probably it was sometimes over the limit, and he misjudged a bit the situation, and probably it cost him the second position today in the track. So if you tell me how to rate his driving style, I mean, I loved the attitude, but probably, and I'm sure that Russell and Piastri drove much better than him.
Yeah, and Lando Norris always the hardest on himself as well, but he did give Leclerc a bit of a headache today. Let's hear from the Ferrari man.
Hey, Shai, well, super brave decision to start on the medium. It looked like it kind of opened up an opportunity in the race. I know you missed out on that podium, so how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. I mean, at the end of the day, we did everything we had to. The start was very tricky with the medium. We lost a bit of places, but then we played, we had to be patient. We went a bit longer, then it started to pay off. And then there was a safety car, which kind of re-zeroed everything. And then on the hard, we were struggling. So, yeah, it's a shame we lose out on the podium, but I felt that this was the best we could do today. And it's disappointing because when you have so much fight towards the end and you are fighting for the first podium of the season, the pace is just not here, not good enough to to achieve that. So I really hope that soon we'll have the car in order to get back on it.
Were you asking, when you were asking for Delta, was that asking for a one-stop? Is that what you wanted to try?
Yeah, there was different strategies that we're speaking of. One of those was the one-stop, but it was definitely brave. And I'm happy we didn't do that at the end, because that would have been very difficult with the safety car later on. So, yeah.
It still feels like a baby step forward, though, this weekend.
A baby step, but we need many baby steps before getting to where we want. And but as I said at the beginning of the weekend, we just need to be cautious. I think we brought that upgrade here. I think this is not the best track to extract the maximum out of this upgrade, and I'm sure that next week we shall be extracting a little bit more of performance from these upgrades and hopefully be fighting for further.
Great stuff, thanks, Charles.
Baby steps then for Ferrari, says Charles Leclerc. And look, they started on the medium, as Charles mentioned. We thought this was a bit of a gamble for Ferrari. The soft looked mighty quick, a lot of purchase off the start. They managed to fight their way back, though, ultimately. It's a gamble that paid off for Ferrari, you think? Certainly for Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I think that probably the strategy could do something different, but at the end, the pace of the car was this one. I mean, I personally think that he drove amazing this weekend. We have to remember that Leclerc out-qualified Hamilton by more than 5 tenths. I don't remember personally a qualify on the dry where Hamilton is behind his teammate half a second. So he did something huge. Today, he opened the gap to Hamilton at the end, a very big gap. So, I mean, he drove very well, but was not enough to stay close to the Mercedes of Russell and to McLaren. Was enough to beat Verstappen? Yes, but he was hoping, starting from the first row, he was hoping glory, and he needed to accept the 4th position. We can understand why he's a bit disappointed.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. He was told as well to stay within 5 seconds of George Russell, so we are still waiting. George Russell has been summoned to the stewards for the DRS infringement. If that is a 5-second penalty, we may well see a podium for Charles Leclerc. We'll bring you that news as and when we get it. Lewis Hamilton as well was your driver of the day. Lando Norris could, of course, be promoted to a P2, making a 1-2 for the team. He had to settle for P3, though. Let's hear from him.
Hey, Lando, I felt for you at the start, and I know life was difficult throughout, but there was immense commitment out there. Can you kind of take some positives from the way that you took something out this weekend, and what's been a difficult weekend overall? Go on.
Sure.
Go on.
I mean, I don't know. That's not how I think. It probably should be how I think, but it's not how I think. So, I mean, yeah, to finish so 3rd, to get some more points on the board, to keep the championship and just my race alive was a good thing. But not happy about the result today. There's not horrendous. I think the best I could have done is 2nd, and you know, I just made my life too difficult with too many mistakes with the start, with the Hamilton thing. Yeah, so I'm surprised. I mean, everyone says I'm leading the championship. I don't know how at the minute. So I'm pretty surprised. So you know, I just need to keep my head down and keep working hard, because I'm not confident. I'm not comfortable, and I feel. I mean, I know what I can do. I know what I can achieve. It's not gone. I've not lost it. It's just things aren't clicking, and I need to somehow look into why they're not clicking, but it's not proving to be too easy.
Yeah, I was going to say that it feels like you know you're fast, it's just not happening in the moment. Does that give you confidence you will find it again? Because this happened before and you found it again.
I mean, I think my race pace is fine. My race pace is good. It's clearly a bit more my qualifying, and I mean, I went through a lot last night. I left late last night. I spent a lot of time trying to look into what happened, why I struggled so much, why I'm not feeling confident, and I guess we kind of narrowed down to a few things, not maybe clear answers and definitive answers, but a few reasons of, you know, why maybe I've been struggling a bit more here and there with my qualifyings and the pace and stuff. But I know what I'm capable of doing. I know I can go out and get poles, and I can win races by good margins. But I'm just, something's not just doing what it should, and I don't know what that is. like I said, I need to get back home and get working with my team and see what we can uncover.
Good luck in that set. Thanks.
Well, Lando looking deep within himself then for some answers, Davide. How do you turn a driver mentality around when you do feel maybe you're slipping into a bit of a negative spiral like that?
First result that you get in the track, very well, very good, everything disappear. I mean, he needs to get back in the car and having the next pole position next week, so everything is going to solve. To be honest, I think that the speed has always been there. Probably yesterday suffered much more than expected, and but today in the race his pace was there. But he's been in the fight all race long. He destroyed the tires, I mean, and his teammate flies away. So he needs just to relax a bit and to try to pull out the next pole position. Seems that he's capable of.
And with an ailing Mercedes in front of him, one which had all manner of issues. You'll have seen it with George Russell falling up and down the timing tower through the race. Transponder, gearbox, the dash. Norris so close to taking that position.
That's why I think Russell deserves only my personal drive of the day. Russell managed the last stint of the race perfectly, and the last try, Norris tried to take away his second place. He defended perfectly. He saw him on the outside. He opened the line. He opened the line until the white line and not more. He did it incredible hard way, but very correct. And it's for this reason that I loved how Russell raced. Probably with Piastri the best of the day. That's my view.
Well, considering how much of an issue George was having within the car, Marcus Dudley communicating that so calmly and George Russell responding relatively calmly, I think I'd have been much less calm if I was told the whole dash was about to disappear. He said, as long as the steering wheel stays on. It did. And here is George Russell's post-race radio for you.
Great job. Thank you. That was not easy. Come on.
Yeah, superb driving. Well done there, mate.
No brakes, no steering wheel. What more do we need?
At least it stayed on, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy.
I can't imagine what it's like hurtling around a track like this with Lando Norris right behind you with, as George just said, no brakes, no steering, and a car that just wasn't operating. Let's hear from George Russell and what exactly that was like.
Hey George, well your car did its best to try and give you as many troubles as it could today, but you
Yeah.
came out on top, and what a P2 it was. Just how you feeling right now?
No, I'm mega happy, to be honest. Those last 10 laps was exceptionally difficult. I had a brake-by-wire failure, so the pedal was going to the floor, and I had to keep resetting, and I just sent bye to my parents. They're going to the airport. So yeah. And then they told me there's a chance I would lose all of the capability with the steering wheel. So I was scared to make any adjustments in case I got stuck with a suboptimal setting. So, I was losing so much lap time at the end of the race, but, bringing it home in that position was great.
How satisfying also was it that maybe McLaren's weren't as far as maybe lots of the thought, and you were kind of in the mix, weren't you really?
Yeah, definitely kind of. I mean, Lando said yesterday they're going to lap the whole field. I expected Lando to come through, but he was not as competitive as I expected, and I think Oscar just had it totally under control, and at the end of the day they still finished 16 seconds ahead in 25 laps, which well done to you. Well done. So yeah, that was still pretty exceptional.
Right,
thank you.
And Mercedes making the gamble as well to put George Russell on a used soft tyre and make him last the 25 laps. He said that was audacious. They'd already put Kimi on that soft tyre as well, and then pitted him again under safety car for a fresher set of softs as well. They made that work. The soft tyre was able to go right till the end as the temperatures have cooled somewhat here. I think a lot of those decisions made were probably informed by the performance of Max Verstappen on the hard tyre, one of the first to go from soft to hard. And Max Verstappen was saying it was horrible for him, and it was compounded by two pit stops that were terrible as well. the sensor issues we saw for Red Bull. And that's so uncharacteristic, Davide, because they are often so brilliant at pit stops.
Yeah, so for 2 times, the driver stopped into the pit lane, changed the tires quickly, and then at the restart, the light was still red. And so the driver, him once, and the other one for Tsunoda, they had to stop for the OK, probably by radio, from the mechanics and from the team. I mean, they lost 3 seconds like this, and then plus the second pit stop of Verstappen, he did it 3 laps before the safety car. Very unlucky. Seems that everyone went opposite to his direction. The second pit stop of Verstappen was very slow because they were late changing the front right tires. I mean, and he dropped down to last. We don't have to underestimate his performance because from last ended up 6 with an overtake at the last lap of the race. I mean, that's Verstappen. He's the world champion. When you counting him off, always immediately come back. Well done.
P20 to P6 for Max Verstappen, as you said, just pipping Pierre Gasly on the line. But, you know, shout out for Yuki Tsunoda. First points in a Red Bull for him. Of course, he made it through to first Q3 and now first point. So building, learning and growing in confidence in that car, in that second Red Bull seat that we've talked about so much this season. Segue into Liam Lawson. Some struggles out there, penalties for contacts as well. Davide, he's not settling in quite so easily at Racing Bulls yet.
No, Racing Bulls had a difficult weekend. Seems that they were competitive during the weekend. Yesterday in quali they missed the Q3 for almost nothing. Seems that Ajar could take some points today, but then the pace was not there. And the driver, they've been into that big battle between 8th and 13th position where Ocon did it the best. Duan struggled. Tsunoda hit the points at the end. A lot of contact between Albon, Sainz and Lawson. I mean, it was like a disaster that part of the field. Some of the driver could take some good point and finishing very well. Others, they suffer a lot, and Lawson was now one of that.
We had drivers, teams, cars sort of 4 wide into corners. It was quite good fun for us to watch, but we did have a fair bit of contact out there. Stroll and Hulkenberg for Lawson, the 2 penalties, 5 seconds for Stroll, 10 seconds for Hulkenberg. And then Sainz, our one retiree of the day, that massive, massive chunk out of the side part of the car. After contact with Tsunoda, he was saying, this needs to be investigated. He himself, Sainz, got a penalty as well for forcing Antonelli off the track. So not Sainz's day, but plenty of action out there for us to be entertained by.
Yeah, it was probably the best race of the season, so on this we were right. Yeah, between Sainz and Tsunoda was out of mind that battle. To be honest, some of the time they overtook the limit. The sideboard of Sainz at a certain point exploded, and we saw it. Probably Sainz and Williams not the best day. I mean, on the race pace, they were struggling. They were much better yesterday in the qualifying in a single lap than the pace that they had today. They were suffering in managing the tires, while Haas was perfect in that. And also Russell, we need to say that managing the soft compounds for so many laps was very, very good, and can be positive for the next races where there is hot condition, where there is high degradation, can be a key point where you can say, in this race it can be positive, it can fight for the points, and you take it in mind, you can race more calm and more relaxed.
Yeah, despite Sainz retiring, and he did serve the 10-second penalty before he stopped and was pulled in for the damage to the car, at least there is some progress and some pace on that side of the garage to match Alex Albon. Fred Vasseur then, let's hear from him. He's with Ariana.
Fred, talk to us about how you're feeling after that race. Potential for more out there, safety car maybe messing things up a little bit for you?
Yeah, it's a mixed feeling. The positive is that we score more points than our direct competitors, and at the end it's a good result. But it's a mixed feeling because I think the safety car was at the worst moment for us when we were in the medium, probably doing the best stint of the grid at this field, and we had to stop. But it is like it is, and that it's not a complaint. let's start next week and from scratch and to try to do a better job. And also we are all very surprised, I think, perhaps except Mercedes, but that the soft could do 24 laps at the end, and we were on the conservative side.
When I spoke to Charles earlier in the week, he was saying that the McLarens are on another planet and everyone really felt that they were a huge step forward. But we saw him putting in a mighty drive to keep Norris behind for so long. Does that give you some hope going forward that you're making progress and closing the gap?
Well, even Piastri, I think on the second stint that we were in a good pace and in a good shape. That it means that. But I think it's like this from the beginning of the season. Best case scenario, we are matching them like China or some other stints, but on some other occasion they are flying. It means that overall they are in front. That we need to understand to be more consistent, probably, that from one compound to the other one and from one stint to the other one. But today was a good step forward.
A step forward, but too conservative is what Fred Vasseur is saying. What might have happened, Davide? Hindsight, I know, is a wonderful thing. If Ferrari had stuck on the soft and not the hard in that safety car pit stop.
Could be interesting. But at the beginning they used the medium, so the choice at the end was only or hard or soft. And they thought that the soft was too risky and they chose hard. I mean, they could not use the medium for the second time because they had to take the decision, and they were wrong at the end, probably. But you can never say that maybe Leclerc with these tires, maybe after 15 laps, there's no more tires and he cannot perform anymore. So you can never say something like this. Anyway, he's missing a Ferrari podium. I mean, they took the victory, astonishing victory, with Hamilton in the sprint race in China. But he's missing a performance on the main race, on the long distance, to say, we are here, we are fighting for something important. We see almost every weekend how strong is Mercedes with Russell now. He's missing a bit the performance to say, it's our time, we can be there every weekend and we have a bright future in front of us. Seems that the technical issue is not solved yet. While, from my point of view, Leclerc did an amazing weekend, staying in front of Hamilton, 7-time world champion.
More learnings for Ferrari as well to come with that new floor, of course, next time out in Jeddah. This is a triple header, so we get to go again next weekend. OK, let's hear from our race winner, shall we? Oscar Piastri.
Oscar, huge congratulations. Victory on your 50th Grand Prix start. How are you feeling? It was an incredible performance.
Yeah, very, very happy. It was a great weekend all round. You know, qualifying was great. The race this afternoon was, a very good display as well. So very, very pleased.
And how special is it for McLaren to win here at their second home race?
Yeah, it's massive. You know, it's been a long time coming, and very, very proud to be the first McLaren driver to have won. So very, very happy.
Oh, enjoy celebrating somewhat before Saudi. Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Quite giggly, very happy Oscar Piastri there, and I'm not surprised. Here's the schedule, because we get to do it all again next week in Saudi Arabia. We head to the Jeddah Corniche circuit, 4:15 for FP1, 7:45 for FP2, 4:15 for free practice 3. Pre-qualifying show 7:30. Qualifying starts at 8 p.m. in Jeddah, 7 p.m. start for the pre-race show, and an 8 p.m. start for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, a bit later than the timings we are seeing here in Bahrain. Well, Davide, thank you so much for joining us. Your thoughts on a pretty eventful, chaotic Bahrain Grand Prix, but one in which McLaren have triumphed.
It's been a real pleasure. I look forward to see it in the next race because it's going to be interesting. We've been very lucky this weekend because the action that we saw in the track was pretty fantastic. So I'm very happy, and we can say that Piastri is ready for everything, and Norris, he has a big concern now, having a teammate so young, but so talented, so calm, and so quick also.
Oscar Piastri is not waiting his turn, and momentum can swing very quickly in this sport. We'll see you again, Davide, in Imola and Austria, and
I'll see you on TV next week.
Thank you very much. We'll also see you in Monza, Davide. Great stuff, Davide. Thanks so much for everything. Big thanks to Lawrence Barretto, to Ariana Bravo as well, to Chris Medler for joining us earlier, Alex and Jolie in commentary, and all of you guys for watching. We will see you next week in Jeddah. Bye for now.
A Saturday night fight from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
It's always action in Jeddah.
Welcome to Jeddah.
The Saudi Grand Prix is underway.
What a track, high speed, unforgiving. Absolutely fantastic.
Crash off the road and into the wall. Here we go with Perez diving to the inside.
This is the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Max Verstappen, eat, sleep, win, repeat.